Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. We will be starting shortly. People get on. And all right, welcome everybody. Welcome. So we're back. We're about to, take a look at current market for the week. I know a lot of people made a lot of money last week. That's very, very good. A lot of pairs that we were expecting to finally moved. So we're going to see what's going on with this week, see what we can capitalize on. Uh, One thing I'm probably going to do more is just focus on a couple pairs instead of so many pairs. Again, a lot of people, they get the misconception that they need to be in every single trade when trading. You don't have to be in every single pair when trading. You only need a couple of setups to really set you right. So what I'm going to start doing now is just focusing on the right pairs. Not the right pairs, I should just say the right setups, right? And then by people focusing on less pairs and focusing on the best setups, a lot of people's win ratio will go up tremendously, right? Because we got a lot of new people following, and it's hard to keep up. And there's only so much I can do. I wish I can be with everybody when they're trading and walking you through it, but unfortunately I can't. A lot of people are brand new. Again, I suggest that you go through IML TV, IML Academy, the beginners, the basics, before jumping into trading. It's very, very important. But nonetheless, we had a very, very good last week, very profitable week. I hope you guys made some good money. So let's continue this week. All right, so let's begin. DXY. Oh, DXY dollar. As you can see, finally moving up, right? See this marked up zone right here, finally moving up. All right, so that's good. And as you guys saw, the US dollar got strong all across the board. So now we got a nice impulsive move here. What we're waiting for, probably a correction, some type of correction, and then continuation up. You want to see it probably come to this trend line, just like we saw here. We want to see price come to like 91. And if we get that breakout and pullback, we can see this come up a lot more. All right. So probably this week, expect a small pullback, right? Correction, let it pull back. But then probably towards the end of the week, going into next week, expect a continuation up. All right. So what does that mean for all our Euro USD pairs? So Euro USD, right? So if you guys remember and you recall last week, I was talking about watch this area right here. Watch this support. Now, because there was a possibility price could come back over here and then drop. As you saw, price just dropped. So anybody who was in this sell, good job. So what can we expect now? This. And let's remove that. Let's go here. All right. So price is starting to reverse. All right. We could see price come back up. US dollar, Euro USD come up. If it breaks above this trend line, we can see it pull back a little bit more. It doesn't mean it's going to completely reverse and come all the way back up. I don't see that happening, but a bigger correction could happen, right? Let me give you an example. Like, I don't think something as big as this, I don't see that happening, but a bigger correction, right? Not something small like that, just something slightly bigger. And before it continues to drop again. All right. So as of right now, I know a lot of you guys, you like to get into the market as soon as the market opens, like 5 o'clock. You guys want to be actively trading. I mean, there's nothing wrong. I've traded on a Sunday. If there's a good opportunity and you see it, yes. But I want you to understand, guys, the market is really about patterns, setting up the right setup, catching the right setup. And what I mean by that is I'm going to delete all of this, right? So as you see, this price from all the way up here, all the way down here, right? This is for everybody who's watching right now, who's brand new, who's, you know, trying to figure out this trading thing. So you have this big downtrend right here, right? This was about 300 pips. Now, let me tell you what 300 pips can do for you on one setup. So you don't have to trade, 100 different pairs or anything, like just one setup. All right. Every time a big move, so you had your impulse, this was your correction. This correction, this flag, is what set up this next wave down, right? Then you had another correction up here, which set up this wave down. Then another correction, basically flag here, which set up this wave down. Understanding the flag pattern, that correction, will make all the difference when you're trading. All right. Understanding patterns, right? The market is about patterns, right? So understanding these patterns will help you see and foretell what the next move is going to be. All right. You'll always hear me say it out. You'll always hear me talk about it. Understanding structure. I don't care about price itself, right? The market's going to get to that price, this price, that's fine. But it's understanding structure, right? Understanding how what pattern is forming, right? Like I always tell people, this market, everything about it, it was created, right? It was man-made. And what do we know about human beings? What do we know about people, right? We all have patterns, right? So everything has patterns. You look at the market, we all have patterns. How would I be able to predict a lot of these moves if I didn't understand the patterns, right? So you see, you had a bullish move up, correction. When you see a correction like this, you know another bullish move is coming up, right? And even though the corrections are not the same, it's how they're forming, right? It's how they're forming. Just like this downtrend, you see how it was impulse and this correction? We don't jump in on the impulse. We let the impulse set up. We let it set up to see what's the next move going to be. So when I saw this impulse, you got to realize where we're at in the market. So we're at pretty much the high. So that's a good thing. So I got my impulse. That's the first wave. By seeing this flag happening up, this is technically my first entry. Boom. I'm waiting for that. That's your move right there. That is your move right there. Price corrected and retested the high again, and then boom. Same thing. Impulse, correction. Impulse, correction. Impulse, so on and so forth. All right. So you guys want to be aware of how the market is moving before just trading, right? You won't understand the supply and demand. You won't understand support and resistance. You won't understand none of these things if you don't understand how this operates, how this moves. All right. So it's very, very important. All right. So what do we have right now? So price is pretty much consolidating. I'm not doing nothing with this, right? Price could easily, again, come up somewhere around this trend line, push up here, and continue down. Or it can make a bigger correction, right? If you look left, you see a bigger move back up. I don't see it coming all the way back up here, but we could see something like this before it heading down, right? So if you're looking to trade USD, Euro USD, wake up for a breakout above this range, right? Above here. And if it's going to continue down, the breakout needs to happen here. As you can see, price is just bouncing in between here. So there's no trade setup, all right? So don't be so quick to jump in this. If you're not in a sell from all the way to the top, stay out of this. Let the market tell you. If it breaks out here, then we're going to look for a buy. If it continues breaking down, breaks this low, then we're looking for a sell, all right? Great Britain, pound, USD. All right, so Great Britain pound USD. So there was a little controversy with this pair, right? And I'll explain to you why. First of all, for all those who caught the caught the sell, great job, right? As you guys know, I've been talking about this pair for months. I've been talking about this pair for weeks now, looking for a sell. And I told you, right? Here, look at this pullback. I'm expecting at least price to pull back just like that, just like that. So finally, we got something. We finally got something. Price started pull back. So I know a lot of people caught this move. So kudos to you, right? For paying attention, catching this move. Last week, we had some news, right? And this is actually a great example right here. This is a beautiful example. And this is why the flag formation is so important when trading. All right. So price was on a downtrend, right? And then we had the news event. So I said there is that possibility for price to probably come back and test, 142. So in our group, I know we caught this buy. Caught the buy, is scaled up, right? Now, I said, look for a buy if a correction happened. Look for a buy and a correction happened. When I sent out the video, I had already moved up my stop loss on this trade. I've already protected my profits. So we was already in, boom. All right. The next 4-hour candle, as you can see, came sharply back down. All right. At that point, I didn't do nothing, right? And this is very key. This is very vital. It's a very important lesson because a lot of people, when they're trading, when they see a breakout, let's say of support, resistance, or whatever, they assume automatically it's a buy, it's a sell. No, right? The next few candles, whatever time frame you're trading, you want to see a correction, right? So people were asking me, well, is it still a buy? Is it still a sell? And I said, we need to wait. And you know what I needed to wait for? I needed to wait for this, right? I needed to wait for this. I didn't know what was going to form after that. I didn't know. The next 4-hour candle could have came sharply right back up. This flag let me know that price was going to continue dropping. That's what I was just trying to explain to you on the Euro USD. So when you see price move, when you first see that impulsive move, you need to see a correction. So again, right here, you see how price came up here sharply. Price came up here sharply. And then, yeah, deep pullback. But what led? It never broke this low. And then you had your upward move, right? Based off of this impulse, right? So this was the correction and then continuation. So when price turned around this sharply like this and gave us this correction, you know a downtrend is coming, all right? So the flag formation, this is why it's so important. You want to know whether it comes. So if you're looking for an uptrend or a downtrend, if you understand that first impulse, whether to the upside or downside, and then a flag is created afterwards, you know a continuation is coming. All right. So what do we have now for Great Britain USD? We have another pretty much continuation. You already see it. It was already happening before the market closed, right? So you got your down move, correction there, down move. Now you have another correction coming up, right? So as long as price doesn't pretty much break this high right here, we can look for another sell. So don't be surprised if price consolidates, and then boom, you get your next downward move. All right. But this isn't a prime example, right? Because a lot of people believe, oh, news moves the market, news, everything. Because if that was the case, because I think it was interest rates were supposed to rise, right? If news really moved the market, price would have just kept going up, going up. This all along proves my point that at the end of the day, it's all about structure. Because again, if you've been following me, you've been watching my webinars, you know I've been looking for a sell on Great Britain USD for how long now, right? So we finally got it, boom. So it has nothing to do with the news. News has nothing. News will either expedite the move or, temporarily change direction. But overall, the market is going to fall back into the structure of where it was going. All right. So if the structure of the market is signaling uptrend, it'll go uptrend. If it's signaling downtrend, it'll go downtrend. All right. So Great Britain USD, let it consolidate up, let it come up, and then look to sell again. All right. USD Swiss franc. All right. So USD Swiss franc. So boom. So we had the breakout. Price broke out. I know a lot of people caught this. A lot of people caught that. Perfect. Good job. And then it reversed pretty sharply. So again, you had your sharp move here. Now you guys should see it. What do you think is happening here? We could see probably basically another down move, probably back down to the low, right? And if it touches the low and even breaks it, right, we can expect a nice move all the way to the upside, right? Long term. I hope a lot of you guys are starting to get this, right? How significant that formation is, right? Like, look here. See how it came down, then created this. See how this slanted up, and then you got the basically this continuation came down shortly here, but pretty much down here, continuation, and then the big sharp move. So that's what I'm telling you. When you see a sharp move in one direction, you don't just jump in. You wait to see what the market creates. If it creates a flag like this and it starts slanting, that's your confirmation that the trend is going to continue. So we can see USD Swiss franc drop probably all the way back down to 0.92, 500, and then take profit because, again, this should come back up. All right. And I'm expecting to come all the way back up and at least touch this trend line. So around 0.97. All right. USD CAD. So I know I was saying I was looking for USD CAD last week, right? And price basically broke through here. But one thing about USD CAD, it moves pretty fast. So I missed it. And I was honestly in other Great Britain pairs. I already found like my setups for the week. And that's the type of trader I am. Once I'm in a good setup and that pretty much sets me up for the week, I'm pretty much done. Right? Again, even though you have all these great opportunities, sometimes you have to realize the best move is not taking no move, right? You got to know when to say enough's enough. I made good money for the week. I'm done. All right. So price broke out. You had a small flag here, then continuation, small flag here, then continuation. Then we had that strong reversal. We had news, boom. So what we can see coming into this week, probably a bigger correction because I'm still expecting UCAT to go up. So a bigger correction, bigger move down, probably come around this range. And then probably around 124, 800, around this range, another 100 pips, and then shoot back up, right? Possibly. Price could probably shoot down, come down a little bit more, right? Pull back before taking off. But expect the price to drop. I'm still expecting price to touch this area right here. I'm still expecting to come to 128. All right. So pull back. Wait for UCAD. It's probably going to consolidate a little bit. Let it pull back like this. Probably a lot of candles. Maybe by late Monday, Tuesday, we'll have a better idea of what UCAD is trying to do. AUD USD. So AUD USD pretty much dropped. It dropped lovely. All right. This was a pair that a lot of you guys should have caught because I talked about this. I said long term, if you're in the Telegram, look for a sell on AUD USD. And since that top, price has dropped over 340 pips, right? So I know a lot of people caught this trade. Now we're in an area where price could potentially reverse a little bit, right? So let's break it down to the 1 hour. So boom. Frost, as you can see, as it stayed under this trend line, you see flag, then continuation, flag, continuation, flag, continuation. Now price broke out. So if this is going to come back up, we need to see a bigger move up, pull back, right? Basically the flag, and then continuation. Don't ride this long term because overall, as you can see, based off the higher time frames, we're still in a big downtrend, right? A big downtrend. But for right now, short term, probably what you'll see this week is a big move back up, maybe around 0.79, probably a little bit more. before we look to sell again. All right. So just wait for that correction, wait for that flag to let you know if it's going to go up. All right. Still in USD. So pretty much the same thing here. This was another pair that we were looking at, New Zealand USD and then AUD USD. These were the two I said like you really want to pay attention to for big sells. So I know people caught this too. We're in at the high since 074. Price dropped about 200 pips. New Zealand USD is one of the slower moving pairs, so it don't move as fast, but still good pips. Still good pips. So you got a correction happening now, right? Draw a trend line, see this flag, and then that drop, right? You got another flag happening. So you probably see another drop down. Let's see if price gets down all the way to low 071. Let's see if price gets down here, possibly over here before even attempting to reverse, right? So somewhere around here, possibly down here, right? So look for a sell on this and then probably a reversal. USD, JPY. USD JPY. So price is pretty much around this low. All right. So I'm going to give you guys the big outlook on this pair because I don't want you to miss this because this is something I'm going to be looking for myself. Right. So give you the bigger outlook. Well, based off the weekly, let me erase everything. Right. So boom. Got your impulsive move up. Right. This is just a big correction off the weekly. This is a big correction on the weekly. Right? Big correction on the weekly. So that means eventually we're going to get this move up all the way back up to 119, if not 120. Right? So that's the bigger long term. So, you know, you probably have some people, can we buy now? Can we buy now? Not just yet. Right? So price is pretty much in this demand zone that we have here. Right? I don't think price is going to break this low, but it is a possibility. Overall, I'm looking for a buy 110%. Now, this is not a good, strong, bullish move up. I'm not convinced that's the move, right? I'm looking for, as you guys know, a strong, that was a gap on Sunday, but I'm looking for a strong engulfing candlestick, right? Something like that. I need something like that to give me confirmation. Then I want to see a pullback and then a ride up. All right. So we're going to watch out for this during this week. We might get one more move to the downside. We don't know yet. So price could come up here and then drop one more time. If it does break that low, please look to buy. Definitely. Like, I don't care if it breaks here, comes down a little bit lower. We're going to look to buy because this is going to be a beautiful move all the way back up. Worst case scenario, even if it comes back up to 113, 114 from this low, anywhere from this low, you know, you're talking about over 500 pips. This is a nice long-term buy that we have setting up right here. Euro JPY. Let's do all the JPYs. So Euro JPY. So it's finally broken out of this correction, right? That it was scaling up. It kept coming up, right? A lot of the Euros kept doing that. Let me delete this, all right? So we're at basically a critical point for Euro JPY. Why do I say that? Because one or two scenarios can happen. One or two scenarios can happen. Now, as you can see, strong pullback. If price can stay within this range, basically like this, and just consolidate right here, we have a nice move all the way back down to 127, potentially all the way down to 122. A big move is coming, right? So 600 pips, if it goes the distance, we're talking about over 1,100 pips, right? If we get lucky, it comes all the way back down here. That's 2,000 pips. All right, about 2,000. If price reverse the way it does, and then it starts to give us a flag. So if it keeps pushing up, like let's say it gives us another strong move up, and then pulls back like this, we can probably see price come all the way back up and touch the top. If it does that, we'll still be looking for a sell because I'm still expecting this long-term drop, right? It's either going to happen here or up here. We'll know by like Tuesday. Definitely late Monday, Tuesday, right? I'm looking for at least, I would rather it consolidate here. I'm tired of trying to sell at the top here. It finally broke through this channel. I want to see it consolidate. If it consolidates here, especially on the daily 4 hours, it just stays within this range, we're in the money. We got a nice sell setup coming up, and it's going to be beautiful. Like Euro Swiss franc, if you think about it, see how this is setting up when I go over Euro Swiss franc? How it finally broke out of that channel, we got a nice aggressive move to the downside. All right. So Euro JPY is going to be very interesting this week. I want to see what it does. Is it going to reverse back up or is it going to consolidate here? I think the latter. I think it's going to consolidate here and then set up for the big drop, right? It's had multiple times. It's going up. It's going up. It's going up. I think it's not going to go up. There is that possibility, but we will see. So very interesting opportunity. If it consolidates, we get that, we will definitely catch that. I will let you guys know. We'll definitely catch this move. And this is a move you're going to want to hold. All right. This is definitely a sell opportunity you're going to want to hold. All right. It's going to take about a month, maybe more, 42 days. You're going to want to hold this because this is over 1,000 pip move. All right. Great Britain, JPY. All right, Great Britain, JPY. Just like all the JPYs, you know, they drop lovely. A lot of you guys caught it. Good job. I didn't catch the GJ drop. I was in Great Britain Swiss franc and Great Britain odd. I caught those two. And a little bit of GN. I caught those moves. Those are the moves I caught. But you got a nice setup. So with GJ. With GJ, what we're looking for here, same thing, right? I personally want to see price come and touch this low around 147. So I want to see a flag and price drop. Right. We're talking about another 3, maybe 400 pips. I want to see it just drop, right? About 400, 445 pips, somewhere around there. So I want to see consolidation like here, right? The only reason why this popped up the way it did because of the news. But again, you got your impulse. What's going on right now? You got your impulse. This was basically your flag and then down. So we're going to see how prices come Monday. If it's consolidating right around this range, we're going to look for a sell. If it keeps shooting up aggressively and then consolidates, like shoot up aggressively like this, consolidates, then we can see it come up a little bit higher. I don't think that's going to happen. I think all the Great Britain pounds are going to continue to fall. So look for it to consolidate here and then drop, and then you'll definitely want to take profit around 147, right? It would have to break here to continue dropping here because there's that possibility. Once it touches here, like here, go back up, there's that possibility of price going back up. All right, all JPY. So all JPYs in a area of demand, right? So it came down. I know a lot of you, when we took the sell, we were around here. So if anybody ever held, I know I didn't, but this dropped over 380 pips. I know I got out of the trade around here. I got out around 87, 200. So I didn't catch a lot. It was consolidating too much for me. So I'm going to be honest, I didn't stay in this a lot. So I only grabbed about, I think I grabbed about 80 pips, not even 100, about 80 pips. But it came all the way down. So now this week, right? Aggressive move, kind of like all USD, right? Is it going to touch here and continue down? If we get the breakout, wait for the pullback, and then you want to ride this all the way back up to like 87. Definitely at least 87 right there. So that's a nice 200, 300 pip move. All right. Just wait for the setup. It's odd. New Zealand JPY. New Zealand JPY. So New Zealand dropped. As you guys know, all the JPYs pretty much dropped. So what are we expecting here? What are we expecting here? Price to continue up. If price breaks through the way it is now and consolidates outside of this trend line, again, look for price to come back up to 80, probably 81. All right. A lot of the JPYs, as you see, they're like setting up for a buy. I hope the only ones who don't is GJ and EJ, but we'll know. All of them are kind of showing the same signal. Right before the week ended, they came back up with a strong, aggressive move. So if they start to consolidate, and then we could probably see a buy opportunity and ride them back up. I'm not interested in NJ, honestly. I'll probably take AJ. I like GJ sell setup, of course, continuation, and I really want to see what happens with EJ. I really don't care for New Zealand JPY. All right, Swiss pairs, Euro Swiss franc. Again, Euro Swiss franc, right? Kind of like this. So what I was just showing you with EJ. So you see Euro Swiss franc kind of scaling up. Boom, got the move to the downside here. So like I said, eventually this is once it breaks out here, I told you it was going to be aggressive. It's just going to move all the way down. It's going to definitely get to like 112, probably even lower, 109. All right. For now, though, expect the pullback. Expect price to come back up. Let's go to the 1 hour. Right. Expect price to, from here, probably scale all the way back up. All the way back up before continually to drop back down. All right. You're just looking for sell opportunities. So let it scale up, right? Long-term sell. It's broken out of this channel. So all you're doing is looking for a sell. Let it scale up. And then you want to have a TP around 112, right? 112 range. Hopefully it breaks this and continues down, right? But let price scale up now, right? It's already made us drop. You're supposed to have been in, as you can see, correction, drop, correction, drop, correction, drop, correction, drop. So let this correct up, let it come up before looking to sell. Brand pound, Swiss franc. So this was the pair that I was really in. This was the pair that I was riding last week. Caught the sell, boom. As you can see, correction there, sell, correction, sell. When the news happened, I got stopped out of my trade. But then I think it was Friday. Once we saw this, we got back in again. So now we're waiting for another correction, right? Maybe come to this trend line, draw a high to a low, let it come up there, and then look to sell. And you're looking to sell all the way to this trend line, which is 125, right? Definitely up to this area right here is 127. So you still got a lot of pips to catch. So even from where current price is, you know, that's over 240. Once it goes all the way down to this trend line, that's about 400 pips, 400 plus pips. So let it correct, scale up, and then look to sell. Let it create the flag like it's doing here, and then look to sell, right? Some flags are longer than others. Like you see this was a longer flag, right? Boom, drop, drop. So let this flag up before looking to sell. All right, Great Britain, Swiss franc. These are the main two ones you want to worry about. All Swiss franc moves very slow. You don't want to worry about that, and so does CAD Swiss franc. These are the main two you want to focus on. And then USD Swiss franc. Euro odd. So Euro odd, we're in a sell for this. So I know I call out a sell somewhere around this range, right? I said anywhere from 157, 200 to 400, look to sell. Should have moved up your stop loss. Price needs to break this low, right? If price is going to continue down, it needs to break this low to continue all the way down here, right? Be careful though. You don't want price to break the low, and then again, it has to break the low, this low here, consolidate before continuing down. So it has to consolidate, right? Consolidate there, and then continue down. Again, just like those gray brain, you don't want it to break here, and then the next candle, it shoots back up, right? Even if it shoots back up, I'm still looking for a sell because I'm expecting a long-term drop right now, right? We finally made it up. It finally came up. Now it's consolidating. We might get one more up move, possibly, but overall, I'm looking for a sell on this. But it needs to break this low. So if you're in the trade already, you should have moved up your stop loss. I've already mentioned that. Should have protected. You should be up about 50 pips, 40 pips, depending on where you got in. We're looking for it to break this low here based on the 1 hour. If it doesn't break, we could see that price go back up there. Let it go up there, and then we'll look to sell from the top again. Reynard, again, looking for sells on this. I didn't expect it to come all the way to the top like it did again, but it's okay. Now we got that strong move down right there. Now we're looking for that correction. Now we just need it to correct up, and then we will sell this all the way to 173, right? So that's another 400 pips right there, right? Those 400 pips right there. Don't miss that move. I really like Gray Brainard. So out of all these pairs that I'm looking at so far, I really like Gray Brainard. Out of everything, Gray Brainard I like. That's definitely on my radar. Euro New Zealand. So Euro New Zealand. And remember, we caught the buy down here, came up, I took profit around here somewhere, scaled up a little bit. Right now, let me erase all this so you guys can understand what's going on. Right now, looking left, we could probably see some consolidation, right? Price could just consolidate here, right? Because as you can see, when price when price came up, it pulled back, continued, pulled back, and then continued. This should have just been the only deep pullback and continued. It didn't. So this is telling me that it might consolidate here for a little bit before actually probably shooting up or down. So I would stay out of this. Great Britain, New Zealand. This is a nice clean setup right here. Definitely watch for this correction right here. Euro New Zealand. I definitely like this. Right. We ended the week strong on a downtrend. Wait for this correction. Right. We got a bearish engulfing candlestick. Watch the 1 hour, 4 hour. Wait for a correction. Wait for a correction and then ride this all the way down to 186. Right. This is a nice move all the way down. This is about 400 pips. Definitely look out for Great Britain, New Zealand. That's easy. That should be simple. Wait for a correction. Just wait for a flag and then sell. EuroCAD. EuroCAD, I like the way it ended the week. I actually was telling my chat group look to sell on this, but then I said stay out. I jumped in it. I closed out my order, but I like the way this is setting up. Wait for a flag, right? So remember, overall, I was been looking for a sell on this. I was just waiting for it to finally drop. It ended the week strongly on a good sign right here. News, big fake out. Now we just wait for a flag. Wait for a flag, and we want to ride this all the way to our trend line down here. Can ride it up to 152, 500, all the way down to 149. So this is also another good setup right here. EuroCAD continuation. The Britain CAD, pretty much the same thing, right? So a lot of these pairs, as you guys can see, is just we're waiting for continuation. Just continuation for a lot of these pairs. A lot of these pairs wait for continuation. Here, same thing. Wait for a flag, and then boom. See? impulse, flag, continuation. Same thing, pull back, and then we're looking for a sell. And then ride it to this trend line right here, around 171. So that's a good move. Not crazy. About 300 pips setting up. So GCAD, Great Britain CAD looking good too. I don't know if you're in New Zealand, you're odd, all the stuff. Gold. Oh, I should say silver. Silver, downtrend. Still expecting a downtrend. Right. Price reversed on Friday. Watch for it to come to this trend line right here, right? On this downward trend line. In order for me to buy, I would have to see a breakout, pull back, and then ride it back up. If not, we can see this move further down. So if it gets rejected like it did here, we can see price come all the way back down. You can see price come down even more, come down before even thinking about shooting back up. All right, so that's silver. And then we got gold. Gold kind of left me. I remember I was looking for a sell on gold. If you guys recall, I was looking for it to come honestly to around 1370. I missed it by a hair, started a reverse, and then it just dropped. US dollar got very strong last week, and then price just dropped. So it's okay, right? We'll still have an opportunity. Correction. We're waiting for a correction here. Let it come up before looking to sell, right? And you're riding this all the way to eventually around 1293, around this range. So wait for it to correct up before looking to sell. USD peso. Right. So let's look at the weekly. So price started to come back up. Came up, but then had the big retracement on Friday with the big downtrend here. I don't see it coming all the way back to the low. I think because of this big move up, correction up, I think this is going to see a bigger correction. Bigger correction, setting up for the next wave up. Back up to around this level, 19.3. Right? So if you're looking for a buy, let it come back up to around 18.5 before looking to buy again. I don't see it breaking this low, possibly, right? If it corrects itself like this, you know to look for a sell. But once it gets to around 18.5 mid-level, look for it to reverse like it did here and go back up. BTC, Bitcoin. All right, so we got some movement on Bitcoin. Right, so some of you guys who are in this worrying about Bitcoin, hopefully your entire fortune is not in this. Got to move here. I don't think this is done. I think like right here, I think we could see another move back down before it actually breaks out, right? You're looking for the breakout of this trend line, consolidation before it can move back up to around the 10, 11,000 range. I always did say once it gets to around 8 to 6,000, 5,000 possibly, start looking for a buy. We could see price finally start to move up here. In all honesty, it can just consolidate in this range for a while. So just definitely be careful. But if you're going to look to buy, wait for a breakout. The way this is reversing and correcting itself, we could see one more move back down. And then my real pick for any crypto was Ripple. So anybody in Ripple, I've been talked about this. I actually got a few inboxes. A lot of people made some good money. I told you to get in around 66 cents. Set in, forget it. As you can see, this was been marked up. This markup here, I said look to buy. So as you can see already, we're above $1. So this was definitely the move right here. Here's the thing. If you're in Ripple, look to possibly, you definitely want to move up your stop loss, right? We could get probably one more move down, right? Because you got this, might correct itself and get one more move down before heading back up. All right. So if you're in it already, just move up your stop loss, protect your profits, and you're good to go. But so far, everything's going well, especially if you got in around low 66 cents, 70 cents. You're doing very, very good. I got a lot of inbox of people making money on this pair. So that's it, guys. I'll see you actually on tonight's webinar on IML TV. I just wanted to do this quick recording and just show you guys the setups. All right. So that's all for now. I'll see you then.